Here's a rundown of the key points from Quiz 2. What role did naval power play in the First Punic War, and how was it different in the Second War? The main thing to emphasize here is that in the First Punic War, Carthage was a naval power, and this was a big advantage for them because Rome was not a naval power. Rome had a disinclination toward the sea and was not familiar with sea warfare and the nature of warships, the technology of which had become very advanced over the preceding centuries with the perfection of the Greek trireme, now in use by all naval powers, including Carthage. In order to fight Carthage, Rome had to overcome both its distaste for the sea and its ignorance of naval warfare, learning not only the construction of triremes, but developing the expertise to use them and being able to train Romans in doing so. The Romans were able to do this, but not all at once. There was a steep learning curve. But by the end of the war, the Romans had transformed themselves into enough of a sea power that they could defeat the naval capacity of Carthage. And by the time of the Second Punic War, Carthage knew that it could not rely upon naval warfare to have an advantage toward Rome, and Hannibal's tactics were changed accordingly, using naval warfare to support his actions on land as he drove toward the Roman jugular. What kinds of social and economic effects did the Romans experience from expansion in central Italy? There are a number of topics here that are covered in the textbook and mentioned in the videos. The main thing to bear in mind is that expansion in central Italy gives Rome a massive increase in resources in terms of labor, soldiers, and allies, and in raw materials and land. So the Romans from this point are able to dramatically upgrade their industrial production and their agricultural produce, as well as their ability to wage war. This also means that they have the resources to improve their public works, including roads, aqueducts, and so forth. This also means a flood of people amassing in the city of Rome, and to a lesser extent in other Roman urban centers, the Municipia and Coloni, which changes the social dynamic dramatically, especially in Rome. Roman expansion also involves greater exposure to other forms of creative expression, which start to become adopted for the creation of Roman plays and artwork on Roman themes. All the following are battles in which the Romans suffered disastrous defeats except, well, all of these are disastrous defeats except for the Battle of Zama. The Battle of Zama is a huge game-changing victory that the Romans have over the Carthaginians that ends the Second Punic War and signals a shift in strategy away from simply defending Rome. In your opinion, did the Romans win the war with Hannibal, or did Hannibal lose it? In other words, is the outcome of the Second Punic War due to Roman success or Carthaginian failure? This is a question that people have been talking about, obviously, for 2,200 years. There's no right answer to this. The point here is for you to express your opinion and support it with evidence. So, it seems to the armchair general that Hannibal could have ended the war after Trasimene or Cannae by taking the city of Rome itself. I discussed in the video some of the reasons why this was problematic, but the point remains. Hannibal deflected his line of march away from Rome, and that made it possible for the Romans to buy time and recover and rebuild their citizen and allied armies to be able to not only fight Hannibal, but Syracuse and Macedon and the Carthaginian forces in Spain as well. So Hannibal not pressing his advantage after Trasimene, and especially after Cannae, when he had destroyed 2 Roman armies, is something that's still possible to hold against him, and to say that this is something that could have ended the war and did not. If you want to argue that the victory is due to Roman successes, this has to do with a lot of factors, including Roman militarization, its expansion having produced deep resources in manpower so that it could put huge armies in the field even after having been defeated. And Exhibit A, which is the shift in strategy toward attack on Carthage, which results in Scipio's campaign in Africa and the defeat of the Carthaginians at the Battle of Zama. There's also something to be said for the nature of Roman leadership. On the one hand, the fact that Rome has annual magistrates means that there's no continuity of leadership, and to a certain extent, less continuity of strategy. On the other hand, it could be argued that this is a strength, that this versatility in leadership is what allows Rome to explore different means of addressing the war and changing its approach as different people become consul or appointed dictator and gain the responsibility for deciding how to proceed. This also means that the Romans have a bench of experienced generals, ex-consuls and ex-dictators, who are available to take charge of all the different armies that Rome is sending out in the field. So as Rome is fighting Hannibal in Italy under one experienced commander, another experienced commander is conducting the siege of Syracuse, and another experienced commander is in Spain, and another experienced commander is in Macedon. So the Roman system is one of the things that makes possible Rome's victory over Carthage in the Second Punic War. That's the end of the quiz. Email me if you have any questions.